Still community, how we doing? Come on in, get a seat, kick back for a minute or two. Going to talk a little bit today about Democrats wheeling. And what they've transpired with Modani, and they're happy. And it's also got Republicans thinking too. And a lot of things are still going on. Believe it or not, there's still people memeing and joking Charlie Kirk. And I don't get it. I don't understand it. But this is one evil country. And you wonder where our kids are going. They look at this stuff on TV. You got your own teacher sitting there shooting herself in the neck, looking like Humpty Dumpty on the wall. And these kids are getting violent. If you ever notice that, the kids are getting so violent. And I'm going to bring up a couple things with 4, 5, and 8-year-old kids. It's going at an alarming rate. Again, we're the parents. And again, a lot of the parents, when Biden was in there was a good 4 years that they took from the parents and infested those kids with the drag queen stuff. Kill. It's no harm in stealing long as it's not over $900. Kids are smart, man, and they're listening to this. And these Democrats and stuff are not even knowing they're creating monsters. And they not only have created monsters, but they're creating killers. Now, y'all want to do this cash bail thing, but let me tell you something. Like I told you, you can't kick the little chihuahua too long before it bites back. Another thing, I told you, karma comes back. I don't wish death on nobody. But like, you're bringing all these people over the border, murderers, killers, drug dealers, rapists, harming our women, our children. And one day you might walk out your door and it'll be right there for you. You already defunded the police department, so who you gonna call? And don't think because you got these security guards around you, when money runs up, they're not gonna protect you. Because we are running low on money. I try to tell my people all day long, like I said, on this channel, we don't go by color. We don't go by religion. We don't go by creed. I try to tell my people. I try to let all my white audience know too. Just because I say my people don't mean it ain't y'all. Always plan an objective. Always save, because ain't nobody coming to help you. The government ain't going to help you. Don't do like these people we see now. They ain't got no food out here crying, acting crazy. Excuse me, talking about they're going to steal, they're going to rob because they sat on their behinds and playing with the computer on the corner talking trash. I ain't got to work. Okay, you got away with that. 5, 6, 17 years. Times are changing. And even if Biden and Kamala had stayed in, the money they were dishing out, pretty soon ain't no country going to give America the money because they can't pay it back. So it still was going to come to end. You cannot pick fruit off the money tree and don't feed it back. Don't fertilize it. Don't cultivate it. You're going to run short. Let's take a look at this.
It's on. It is absolutely freaking on. I need you guys to watch this whole video, because what you just witnessed with the assassination of Charlie Kirk was not the death of a movement. It was literally the final sacrifice of a legend who created something that threatened the left so much they had to kill him. It will now multiply like a hydra on steroids. Guys, the stuff that I'm about to show you, this is an exact replica of the civil rights movement in 1968. Charlie Kirk has now become immortal. They galvanized this. They have created a legend, a myth, and a martyr, and they don't even know what's coming their way, because they are about to be relegated to the dustbin of history, exactly like we've been talking about. This is the time to move forward, because the left just decided that they're going to start killing us rather than winning on the battlefield of ideas. They have lost. And I want to say something very, very important to everyone on the right, because typically my audience is aligned to the conservative movement, to the Second Amendment space. This is not the end of America. This is not the end of the dream. It's not the end of conservatism. This is the full-on admission that we have won and relegated their entire ideology on the left to the dustbin of history. They are not only losing the cultural battle, they're not only losing the ideological battle, they're not losing congressional, executive, and legislative, and judicial. They have now lost all cultural buy-in because they are resorting to extreme assassinations. Now, I will say in my little caveat here that I don't know exactly who did this, but I'm willing to bet pretty sure and pretty strong that it wasn't a right-wing activist. Pretty confident on that one. Now, more details will come out, and we will cover all of it right here, and there will be a time for the reckoning of anger in the political sense on this content, because we've got tons of stuff lined up. Katie is going ham on this. But this man just became immortal. They just memorialized him, and they just made him an absolute legend. His final sacrifice just watered the tree of liberty, unlike anything that we could do ourselves, and they have no one to thank but themselves on the freaking left. All right, listen to this. This one's going to get you angry. There's a trigger warning on this one. I'm going to show you this woman who thinks that she is on to something that Charlie Kirk, you know what, I'm going to let her say it, and I'm going to show you some other things that even the far left progressives know they just lost, and Charlie Kirk just defeated them in his death. Let's get it.
The best part of this whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one. It will impact few. It's just great.
It's on.
Still laughing. Still giggling. You know, even if you don't like a person, there have been people that you've gone to funerals, their wives have sat up and said he was the worst person on earth. But everybody honored that person in a quiet way. They had passed on. Even if he was a rotten person, there's a possibility he can change. But to outright giggle, laugh, torment someone while they did, and he didn't hurt any kids, he didn't hurt any human beings, he spoke about God. And y'all must think y'all wake up on your own every morning. It just happens. Maybe a gay person wakes you up every morning. I don't know. But I think he said it all. And it hadn't been forgotten It's just that Republicans aren't lashing out, beating up people, knocking them out, burning cars, blowing up cars, tearing windows down, robbing stores, bashing people, shooting people in the middle of the street. Not doing that. But like I said, think of the Democrat as the big Rottweiler. And Republicans are the little Chihuahua. But around the corner, the Chihuahua got some backup. Because he's smaller and he's nicer, people came to his aid. So when one of y'all are doing damage, when that little Chihuahua stand up and come around that corner, and he gonna think he's bad because y'all gonna break out and run, but he gonna know there's 50 other dogs behind him standing up. And he gonna get a little chase and he gonna be bad. Yeah, run. And they gonna go out around the corner, he don't see him, but they gonna come out for him. Because the little Chihuahua was good. They watch you demoralize him, beat him, kick him, knock him around. Let's check this one out, y'all.
Let me tell you the truth, and this is no conspiracy theory. Our nation has been infiltrated over the course of decades. And the election in New York City has proven it. That this agenda, socialist agenda, has been at work like leaven in our country for years. We should all be concerned. There are powers, globalist powers, elitist powers, that do not want America to work. And these powers have infiltrated our system for decades, trying to paint a picture that the way that America was designed does not work, that free enterprise does not work, that a Republican democracy or democratic republic, really we have a constitutional federal republic, but you get what I'm saying, trying to prove that the American way does not work. It does work. Millions of people flocked to this nation from other countries as a dream. But then something happened several decades ago, and I believe it was a lot of things going on, but including in that was a kind of a communist socialist infiltration around the time of the Cold War, as well as, our politicians selling us out, loving money, all of that. So it's a lot going on. But this agenda wants to get rid of America. God raised this nation up to be a light to the world, and we have seen that God has used this nation over and over again, especially when it comes to the vein of Christianity and being a light to the world. But our elected officials have betrayed us. We've allowed socialism, communism, embers to burn in this nation, and thus we have almost a predictor of the agenda that is trying to play itself out here in New York City. You should be concerned. America can work. And I want to revive hope in this nation and get Washington back to work for the people and stick to our constitutional heritage. All right? So I'm just saying this. Don't brush off what happened in New York City as just, no, that's democratic socialist. That should be a concern. Free enterprise is biblical. Free enterprise works. And our constitutional republic can work if our elected officials really worked for us. Check out my website, ronaldevans.org. I'm going to be the next U.S. Senator from the state of Texas. Check it out. Support my campaign. Support the American people. It is a grassroots conservative campaign. I'm not taking any super PAC money. It is funded by the people. Support my campaign, ronaldevans.org.
I have to give the brother an applause. So true, so right. We are at the cuspus of falling apart. Y'all can believe it or not, Jesus is on his way. Communist does not work. And you know, you Americans, a lot of them were foreigners that voted, that we let infiltrate in here. Even a lot of young blacks and women and stuff, I'm surprised. Wanting stuff free. Oh, he gonna settle the rent. The rent ain't gonna be high. Oh, he gonna give us a free bus ride. We gonna ride the free subway. You know, everything's gonna be good. We got groceries gonna be one price. He gonna take over the store. He already done reneged on the subway ride and the bus ride. And he asking y'all for money. He ain't said nothing to the rich man yet. He asking y'all for money to help him with his campaign. And you tell me it's was so dumb to vote him in and you're probably giving your money too. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But this is what's happening. You know, it's what's going on. And I feel sorry for you. You can't do nothing but feel sorry for you. I want y'all to take a look at something. She's explaining healthcare. People think that this is owed to you. This is what the Democrats are saying. And that money is not going to us. It's going for immigrants. Let's listen, y'all.
Human right. The left often claims that things like housing, education, healthcare are human rights that the government needs to provide for its citizens. And yes, in a functioning society, we want our citizens to have access to those things, but they are not human rights. You see, you don't have a right to someone else's labor, whether that be teachers in a classroom, doctors in a hospital, or landlords in an apartment complex. They don't owe you anything. I'm a conservative, and I believe that the most fundamental human right is the right to life. The human rights that governments should be protecting are the rights to life, the rights to liberty, the rights to be free from slavery. But you aren't entitled to certain services provided by the government or professionals in society. That's why our Declaration of Independence laid out that we have certain unalienable rights, the right to life, the right to liberty, the right to the pursuit of happiness. And it goes on to clarify that government is supposed to protect these fundamental rights. And so when someone tries to use the argument that healthcare is a human right and that means abortion should be protected by our government, they couldn't be further from the truth. Life is a fundamental human right. That is what needs to be protected by our government.
People, again, I have to agree with it 100%. It couldn't be more clear and truer than anything. Now, I'm going to bring up Harry in a minute, and let's see the difference in thought. Now, he's proclaiming about guns and stuff, and it's found out that they have a chemical imbalance. He's talking about all the crimes and stuff that's been created before, but you have a lot of people not going to schools and killing them like they're doing, and they're doing it one after another. We have school shootings, yes, but when there's so many social people and one group that's doing it so much, maybe you need to think. And then again, who says that's healthy for you? You're a man, popping all these pills, changing your breast, taking your nana off, you know what I'm saying? Come on, that's not healthy. And if it was something that was needed, why would you have to go through surgery? Why are you going through all this? And I would take pride as being a man. And I find joy in that. That God made me where I don't have to suffer as bad as a woman. Y'all want to be like a woman, but you don't want to go through everything she goes through. A woman goes through a lot. My hat's off to them. I wouldn't go through that for nobody. Administration, having babies, the emotions, taking care of themselves, a lot of work to take care of that love patch. And you got a big no-no, a small no-no, and you can chop that off to mess that thing up to go through all of that? And sisters, I'm not doubting you 1 minute. Y'all know I love y'all 100%. I'm proud of you. I speak in y'all behalf all the time because there's so many decent, law-abiding sisters, white as well as black, that don't have Jasmine Crockett for the speaker for them. And a lot of sisters, I know they resent that. But y'all just listen to it. I don't make sense of it. I do not make sense of it. But it is what it is.
So let me get this straight. After all the mass shootings that we have witnessed and suffered through, and families have lost their lives, their children, their loved ones, and each time everybody's like begging for action, begging for something to be done. The only thing, after more than 5,000 over the last 10 years or so, the only thing Republicans can come up with is to try to ban transgender people from owning guns, despite the fact that they only account for like 3 or 4 of the mass shootings out of the over 5,000 that have occurred in this country. First of all, if transgender people were violent, they'd have gone crazy on Republicans and MAGA and the government a long ago, right? Because since 2015, the government, conservatives, MAGA, have been in the community, right? So if they were unstable or violent, they'd have gone ham on Republicans a long time ago. Plus, it's just stupid. It's stupid. This sounds like something the Nazis would do or suggest, right? Let's stop Jewish people. They stopped Jewish people from doing all kinds of things during World War II and prior to World War II. That was, like, Jews had their own laws in Germany. So we have a constitution which guarantees every American citizen rights, but we're going to strip transgender people of their rights.
It's my show. I didn't want to go through the whole thing. First of all, if you go by the Bible, they have no rights. God made a man and God made a woman. Plain and simple. You can write in and say what you want, but that's the way it is. He made a man and a woman. So, transgender and all that stuff, you don't register. Say you're a man, you register. Say you're a woman, you register. Because I don't see nowhere in the Bible, nowhere else where it says man, woman, and transgender. It doesn't say that. So if you want to be recognized, be right to be recognized. Simple as that. And that's just my issue on that. Chemically imbalanced, I guess they showed that all the drugs and stuff are bothering them and it's causing problems. I don't know the whole story on it. But I like his fingernails, though, nice and black. But anyway, let's move on to something else. Let's check this out, y'all.
It's been a few weeks since I've been canceled, so this video ought to do it. And I'm just gonna say it, your problems are not my responsibility. If you want free healthcare, then maybe try working instead of like whining on TikTok about capitalism. My husband and I bust our butts every week and we pay our taxes, and somehow we're the bad guys because we don't want to bankroll everyone else's bad decisions. Like, sorry, but I made poor life choices doesn't count as a disability, and I'm over arguing with people who say that healthcare is a human right, but the right to life isn't. So I'm no longer going to be guilt tripped by people who think that my paycheck is like community property. If you want free stuff, then move to California. The rest of us are working and paying our own bills and trying to raise kids in an economy that liberal policies keep trying to ruin. Like, stop voting for handouts and then wondering why everything costs so much more. That isn't compassion, it's just economic illiteracy pretending to be virtue. So I'm over it. Healthcare is not a human right, and you aren't entitled to my paycheck just because you're lazy.
Amen to her. Totally in a corner. It's a good sister there. Stop being lazy because you're not entitled to my paycheck. If you want to go out and have 40 kids, by all means do so. But you should plan ahead. Can you afford those kids? Can you afford their college? Or are you looking for a handout? I've seen people on here say they are not going to pay for their food. They're not going to pay for their kids. I got another one here I want y'all to check out. And I love this sister because she speaks the truth.
I hate to be the one to tell you this, but Republicans are actually doing more for women in 2025 than the left ever could. So if you claim to be some sort of girl boss, liberal feminist, all about women empowerment, just know that the left is just saying that they are working for women while the right's actually getting things done.
So let that be known. She is giving you the facts. She's opened up the book. She's understanding what's going on. And really, I have to agree with her on every point. And she's got her facts straight. We don't owe anybody anything. Anything. You work, you provide, you give. And I'm all with the system. If you pay into Social Security, especially where they're doing it now, and you're going to take every dime I got, give me my money when it comes to retire. Give me the whole lump sum and leave it to me. And that way I can do what I want with my money. I know I paid in a lot. Because I was single with 3 different businesses, all doing good. So, that's the way I look at it. Nobody didn't give Big Daddy nothing. Big Papa had to work for it. And I lived in the best places you can live in. But I worked. A lot of times I couldn't even enjoy it. I was on the road sometimes 3 to 6 months at a time. But when I came back, I had my castle. And I had excellent neighbors. 2 different neighborhoods. I was the only black guy in there. But they took care of me and mine. Because I wasn't a troublemaker. I didn't cause any problems. Heck, you never even seen me. So people, we can achieve anything we want to if we put our mind to it. It's getting harder now to work hard in old days and save, and you'll be okay. That system is gone. You got to work hard now and invest your money, because things have gotten so high, inflation's got so high. It's just like having an upside down note on a car or upside down on a house. You got to work triple hard to bring that down. On that note, y'all, like, share, and subscribe. Remember now, we're looking for 1,000 to sign up to the channel so we can get monetized and get going. We are just starting. We're doing great thanks to you. You guys are my audience. I care about you and I love you. And we got a few more things coming down the pipe that we're going to have to explain to you what's going on. But y'all hear about it, and I will give you personal information on what we're going to be doing. Like, share, and subscribe, y'all. And see you later.